gonna tell you right now, this was put in there wrong. That's how it was put in. That's wrong.
Oh yeah, the ramp.
You know why I know it's wrong? You see this taper right here? That taper goes right there.
Because it sits right in the mat flush. Yeah.
So this right here, the way it was put in there, will cause rocks and everything to go down in there. Guess where them rocks are going? They're going down to your blades. They're going to hit your blades.
It's going to break them.
It's going to break them, and it's going to cause problems. So what I did is I started painting them yellow right here. Just load it up, paint it with yellow on both sides. That way you know it's, and I painted the yellow across there, but it's not going to last long. But I painted it yellow, and that way it goes to the back. Just tell them it goes to the back. So see how much better it fits in now? See? Fits perfect. But they had it turned the wrong way.
It wasn't flush.
That's right. And this right here builds up a lot of junk, so dump it out before it goes back out. Dump this out. Always pull it up. I'm surprised it was that easy to get out, because a lot of times BBs would get built up into there, and I'll take a hammer and knock on it, and get it out. So always clean that out. Always clean this out. Another thing is this shot valve. You look and see that shot valve down there. See? You turn that key switch on. Okay, open that shot valve right there on the handle. See it? See it open? See that flapper open? See it?
Yep.
Okay, so let's take a picture of it real quick. See? Go ahead and open it. See it?
Look at all that stuff, man.
See all that junk down in there? You guys need to build that out. You need to clean that out. See? Another thing is that rubber down there. You need to replace that rubber every now and then, because close it back.
Well, that seal right there?
It won't seal all the way up.
It won't seal all the way up. So, like I was saying earlier, one of the problems is with this thing dropping. Hey guys, we're over here. What is the problem? The things with this thing dropping and spitting shot out, the brushes. But also another thing is you go ahead and put that cup back. Another thing is them starting it up and running. I've had, I don't know how many times that they'll be calling and saying that it won't run right, it's dropping shot, it's throwing shot everywhere, it's just throwing it on the ground, all that kind of stuff, and I find out how they're starting up and running it. Because see, this is the deal. When you start this machine up and start running it full throttle. Pull that thing all the way up, full throttle. Okay, then your shot valve, start bumping it open. Start traveling. Don't be sitting still open it. You need to tell them that. Start traveling slow. Start bumping it open. Bump it open. Bump it open. Bump it open. You'll hear that motor load up. As soon as you hear that motor load up, you can open it more.
Question is, because when you move, and make sure the machine is low to the ground when you open and closing it, because you don't want the shot flying.
You want it touching the ground.
Right, you want the shot flying out.
When you go to run with it, you do want it touching the ground. Right. Yes, that's a given. You do want it touching the ground. So get it touching the ground and start moving with it slow, and start opening that shot valve. And you can see over there, you see that screw on that side over there, start to turn and open that actuator is opening it up. So you can look down there while you're running it and see it moving. Okay, and what it's doing is that shot valve's opening up. As soon as that shot valve starts opening up, shooting through, because what happens is, if you're like, if they want to start this thing up, they want to run it, they don't run it to full throttle, they open that shot valve all the way, it's going to dump shot and it's never going to catch up.
That's what it does.
Okay, that's what a lot of people do. You run it to full throttle, and you're sitting there, and you open the valve up fully, everything's dumping right away. It ain't going to work right. So you got to start traveling and start bumping it open until you hear that engine load up. You'll hear it load up, it'll change. And as soon as it changes, you're good to go. You know?
You got to make sure the suction is working just as well.
Yes. And if you want to, this hose right here, you can take that hose loose when you're driving this thing around here, and it won't suck debris off the floor. Or you can raise it all the way up, because you raise it all the way up, it's still not going to suck as much, but it's still going to suck. Because whatever you're running over on the floor, it's going to suck it up. Because it's got a good vacuum.
Question. I know since I started working around these machines, they got different size shock. correct?
Yes, yes.
So my question to you is that what shot for what job? I mean, how do you know what size shot to put in?
That's something that you need to be talking to your sales rep about.
They would.
They should know that. If they don't know that, then that's something they can ask somebody else about. Because the size shot, I don't like to get into because it's just like grinding the floor. I know enough about grinding the floor to be dangerous. But you ask me anything about this machine, I can tear it apart and tear it in blindfolded and put it back together. So we got people that's their skills are sharper in different areas. So that's something that you want to ask a sales rep to be able to help you with. Usually the Niagara sales rep, if he's worked with these machines a lot, he knows it, and he can be able to ask you and help you with that. And you can ask him those questions and he can direct you and help you with it. Because it does depend on what machine you're running and what kind of profile you're running. Because Ron, standing behind you there, is the genius when it comes to that. But I'm just telling you, it depends on the profile they're trying to get. It also depends on the machine they're running. Because you start running that 115, that 115 volt 9 with the Metabo grinder, that blaster, that small one, you start running that, you run number 4 shot in it, it ain't gonna run.
Second part of
It's
that
too heavy.
Second
Okay.
part of that question. The reason I even brought up the size difference in the shot,
Right.
does the same principle, let's say you go with a fine shot, then you go with a big shot, same principle applies. You hear that motor engage, that's when you're adjusting your...
Yeah, this machine right here will pretty much run all your shot. It's gonna run it all.
So, yeah.
Because this is one of the biggest machines. There is bigger, but this is one of the biggest.